when I wake up and I look at my program and I see a 25-mile plus run as my long run, honestly, the fear of not being able to finish that is what scares me more. Like seeing that 25-miler, I know I can physically do it. It's more just mentally saying, okay, I see that in my program. I can't not hit that. I have to be able to finish that type of run. And that's really where it's the challenge kind of lies for me, is that physically I know that I'm capable of doing those types of runs. It's more of like the mental battle of saying, okay, I see it in the program. I have to prepare myself for that run and get through it. Like physically, I know I can do the runs. Like the IV to IV run was a really great workout. I think it was kind of like it reset what I had set expectation wise for myself. I've never run more than 16 miles, and that run was 24.9 or whatever, 25 miles. 25 miles. And what's funny is now every time that I've gone into a workout and I've seen 16 to 25 miles, I mentally go back to that day and say, okay, you've already done it now. Like now you've done it, you've been able to do it. Commit yourself physically, you know you can do it. It's just the mental battle now you have to go through with that leading up to that. So when we did the 20-mile run, that was like, I did 20 already, I can do it. Just got to get through it. Mentally, I went into it already knowing I could do it. I said to myself, all right, I've already done this type of run. I planned my nutrition perfectly. I met with Lance to go over everything that we needed to do. My fueling strategy during the run was perfect. And at mile 10, when I came back to the gym and I set back out, I said to myself, I can probably do this 2 more times. That's how confident I was, because I had gotten over that mental hump of saying like, oh my God, 20 miles. Like this is a lot. 20 miles is a lot. I don't want people to think that it's not a lot. Like, yes, it's not 100 miles like what we're training for, but 20 miles is a lot. That is almost a full marathon. Like 26 miles, 26.2 miles is a lot. So when you see people that run these long miles, you see me posting these ridiculous 20 plus mile runs. I don't post them to say, oh, look what I did. Or I don't post them to say, oh, this was easy. I might say to you guys like, oh, they're easy. Yeah, they're so easy for me. 50 plus miles a week are easy. But that shit is like, that's hard. It's not something that you can just casually wake up and do. Like the amount of training that I've done the last 20-ish weeks has been very grueling. So for me to casually wake up now and be able to do 20-mile runs it's a blessing, but at the same time, it's almost a curse, because now I'm at the point where those 20 miles for me are, okay, thankfully I only have 16-mile long run, 20-mile long run. But it excites me at the same time, because I know that my body is improving. I know that physically I'm getting stronger, mentally I'm getting stronger, and it's very rewarding to wake up and see the progression that I've gone through the last couple weeks, or 20 weeks, I would say. Definitely fucking tight. It's a nice brisk New York fall air. It smells like snow is coming. Reminds me of my playing days when it's fucking cold as shit outside and you gotta nut up or shut up. When you don't run here every single day like we did when we first started the series, I think you take more appreciation of this mountain, right? And remember when we were talking, talking about how like, oh, we need to change it up. It's so repetitive. We go to the same place every time. But now it's like, compared to running 0 elevation down in Carolina, when I come here, I'm like, thank God I get to go change up where I run and run here. And I talk about all the time, each part of the trail is different. Each route is different. Each run is different. You know, you film them, you think they all look the same, but they're really not. Every time I come here, it's always different to me. You see different people, different route. I step different places. I run different. Very different. So. I think the bigger change is between seasons, the trails change. At night, it's more calm. It's actually more fun. But I grew up watching Blair Witch. Like that's where my head goes when I'm in here at night, so. What I was saying before was that I actually kind of enjoy going to the gym and then going out for a run. When we first started, one of like the first topics of conversation that we had with Lance was, you know, there's going to be a time when the transition and the priority level of lifting and running kind of switches. And I think in particular, you know, like a day like today, we did a heavy leg day into a 4-mile trail run. And I kind of think of it now where I enjoy those types of runs because for what I'm preparing my body for, essentially that leg day is maybe a small percent of what abuse my legs are going to go through leading up to during the race, essentially. So, you know, like a day like today, that first loop I did, my legs felt heavy, they felt tight, they felt sore. But, you know, as I got my legs moving, I kept moving, my legs, they softened up. And you know, I'm enjoying that. I think that's, for me as an athlete, I need that, you know, abuse, that heavy push. I don't really need to sit back. Yes, I understand resting, recovering, and making sure my body is, you know, what it needs to be at. But I think that's when I perform the best, when I am, you know, in pain, I'm down, I'm not at a 100%, you know, physical ability, but mentally I know that that's where I'm at my best. That's where I compete the most. That's where I push the most. I just think it's interesting that, like, you know, when I first started, I thought that I would enjoy, you know, taking the heavy days off and kind of just prioritizing the running, and now I'm like, I invite it.
All right, so we're back here in Ironvault, Scarsdale. Last episode, you guys saw that we had IV to IV. It's actually currently the next week. So this last couple of days have been pretty much a deload. That's why we haven't been filming as much. Low mileage, kind of just getting to the gym, just getting, you know, my body acclimated to that really long run, or how my body should feel after that really long run. I felt great a couple days after. Like I said, today's Tuesday. The following week, we're here. This week we have another really long run, which is around 20-ish miles. We're still trying to figure out strategy-wise how we're gonna make a different route just because now that we've done the IV to IV, it kind of doesn't have the same value. But we're game planning for that. I think I have to look ahead at Training Peaks. I think the mileage for this week leading up to Thursday is not actually as much, so that excites me. But I know that 20-mile run, it says game plan like it's a race day, game plan like it's a race, 90 percentile of your effort, so I'm excited for that. It's good to be back. Gonna attack the week. I know I mentioned last episode that it's really important the weeks that I am here, the days I am here, I'm optimizing my time as best as possible. That's what I'm trying to do every single day, every single time I'm back here up north.
This is our now second longest long run so far of this entire Road to Leadville prep. Last episode was IV to IV, where we did that 24.9 mile run. And today we have a 20-ish mile run. Yeah, our goal now is to essentially try to find local routes, something that's around here that, because once you do the IV to IV run, it's kind of like the next time we do IV to IV, it will be an IV to IV, back to IV. So we want to save that run for when we do that, have that workout. Today our plan is to do 2 10-mile loops. Essentially, we're going to start here at Iron Vault Scarsdale. We are going to run 5 miles out to the White Plains Westchester County Center. That's exactly 5 miles. Turn around, come back, refuel, rehydrate, grab whatever I need, head right back out that route. I will be running the Bronx River Pathway Trail, which is it's not like a regular trail. It's kind of just like a walking trail, biking trail. So you guys won't be able to run with me, and Eddie won't be able to keep up with, there's no really road to drive on. So it'll be me, be the Osmo, taking 2 gels with me today. We got the Muir energy gels. These are all natural, 100% real food for sport and life. I actually really like these, 105 cal. They're 30-gram pouches, 105 cal, 100 milligrams of sodium, 17 grams of sugar. So these are really good, as well as the BPN Go Gels, the new caffeinated version. I've never tried the Go Gels. I've had them before, but I've never ran with them. We have the new caffeinated version, so I'm excited to try that out. But it's currently 9:13. We're going to start this run now and get into a rhythm and get after it. I actually just did this exact run yesterday by accident, not knowing that today was the long run workout. So we're going to get into it. And great weather. I think I brought the South Carolina heat with me. It's been like 80 degrees all week, right? It's been really nice.
Horrible.
It's been really nice. My body's feel great. I don't need a long sleeve for these runs. I can run no shirt on. And we're going to enjoy it. So, ready? Let's go. So 3 miles in, I'm holding around a 9-minute pace. I think the most important thing when you do these long runs is deciding whether you are running a race or racing a race. My coach Lance and I had a conversation last week, and we talked about being able to identify the difference between running a race and racing a race. And I think that's why that IV to IV run was so successful for not only my mentality but my physical part of the run. Was I was able to recover quickly. I just ran a race. I did not race a race. I think that's the most important thing, especially for today. Just, leaving this run, understanding that it's a mental win. That's it. I feel great so far. I'm holding an 8:50 pace. I'm not stopping. I'm just going to go right back. Okay, so just wrapped up that run. Koros was a little slow. I just said sometimes the Koros struggles when it's on a trail, and that BRP route it's like a hybrid between a trail and running on the road. So it basically runs perpendicular with the Bronx River Parkway. If you guys are around here, it's like a scenic parkway, and this is basically like a walking and a bike path to connect all of the towns and villages. So popped out so my Coros came out in 19.64, 909 pace, and then my Garmin's lagging. 20 miles, 904 pace. Yeah, a little bit off. So 20-mile run in the books. Feel great, no issues. I said actually on that run that this is my first real long run in these Nikes. I've been doing all of like my long runs in the Brooks Glycerin Maxes. Actually, the IV to IV run was in the Brooks Glycerin Maxes, which is like a really max cushion shoe. And I think my feet got a little too used to those for I would say my last 3 16+ mile runs. I've worn those Glycerin Maxes. So this is my first long run in not max cushion shoes. Feet took a little bit of a beating. No like hot spots or like blisters, just not used to that not max cushion feel. Feel great, body's awesome. Yeah, I think that was a great fueling strategy. So last week, between the IV to IV run and the today, I had a meeting with Lance, I want to say last week-ish, and we talked about how my fueling strategy is just like very raw dog and kind of like just go and do whatever you want to do and figure it out, bring a bottle of water, bring a couple gels, and that has always been like the issue I think I've had with a lot of my training. It's very just like raw, like go do it, feel it out, take water, drink water. This is my first run where I kind of strategically planned it out. So usually in the past what I do is every 3-4 miles I take a gel or drink a water, and this is my first run where every 30 minutes I would try to consume 30 grams of 90 grams of carbs. I took, like I said in the video, I took G1M Sport with me. I took my gels. I strategically mapped out when I was going to take them, time-based, not mile-based. And I feel great right now. I think that was a really good plan. My first nutrition planned run. But no, I feel great. 20 miles in the book. I think we have a run Saturday, and hopefully we can bring you guys along for that. If you guys enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, and hope you guys enjoy the series.